Hey there, Advanced Math. Going to work on a fourth way to answer statistical questions today. Before you write this title down, I want to give you an option. Yesterday, we did 3 ways to answer statistical questions, mean, median, and mode. And we took up a lot of space here. And so we learned 3 ways to answer it yesterday. If you have room, you can just add the 4. We're going to use the exact same examples as yesterday. If you have room and you want to add the 4th way just over here, today it's going to be called range or spread. You can just fit it on the pages from the last time if you want. If you don't have room, you can make a new page. I'm going to do it on a new page because I got so much written here, though I will bring this up to show you. So your choice, either just open to yesterday's notes and we'll just add a 4th way to answer the questions, or you can just do a new page you pick. So yeah, so today we're going to be working on a 4th way to answer statistical questions called range or spread. 2 different words that mean the same thing. I just want to make sure you see them both. You'll hear them interchangeably. I usually use range. I hear range more often from statistical people, but you'll see spread too, and I don't want it to confuse you. All right. So quick refresher from yesterday. So I'm going to have here the class sizes of 8 classes here in a list. And we're going to answer the statistical question, how many students are in classes at this school by finding the mean, median, and mode. This is what we did yesterday. And so I just want to refresh your memory on how those worked, because those are 3 really common ways to answer a statistical question is by finding those. So the mean, that was add them all up, all my observations or all my data points, often these are called. These are good words. Data points. Sometimes you hear those called observations. Like I observed how many kids were in each class and wrote it down, like in science observations. Sometimes you call them data points. So add them all up and then divide by how many? By the number that there were. So if I'm going to find the mean class size, often called the average class size, I'm going to add up all those. 14 plus 22 plus 24 plus 25 plus 25 plus 28 plus 32 plus 34. And that is, there's 204 students in whatever grade this is or whatever school this is. And I'm going to divide that by how many there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes. And the average class has 25 and a half kids in it. It's kind of weird to answer a statistical, have a half of a kid. Think about that. But, since we're not talking about any class actually having this number, it's okay. We're just talking about the average. So the mean here is 25 and a half. And so we would say the average class has 25 and a half kids. That's what you would say out loud. That's kind of what it means. Oh, get it? That's what the mean means. All right. The median. The median is the middle number. So what we did to find the median, we put them in order and then find the middle. Sometimes the middle is one number. Sometimes it's between 2 different numbers. So these are not quite in order, or are they? Oh, no, they are in order. That's really nice. When they're already in order, that saves you some work. So if I were to divide it here, there'd be 4 on this side and 4 on this side. So my median is going to be halfway between these 2 numbers in this case. Now, since they're the same number, that's really easy. So we would say the median here is 25. Sometimes we call that the center instead of the median. Makes sense. It's right in the middle of the center. And that means, I'm just going to type it because I can type it faster than I can write it. So when we think about the median, since that's the halfway, the midway point, we're kind of saying half of the classes have 25 or more, half have 25 or less. It's kind of the halfway point of the data. And so a lot of times that can be a good answer to the question. Average is good. If you notice here, the average and the median are really close. That's not always true, but in this case they were. And our last one was called the mode. And the mode was the most. The number that you saw the most times. So in this case, that's actually probably going to be the same again, right? I see two 25s and everything else is only once. So my mode here is 25. So that means, if you were answering the statistical question to somebody using the mode, you would say more classes have 25 than any other number. All right. And so in this case, they're all really close. That's not usually the case, but today they were. So today we're going to add a fourth number called range or spread. All right. And so the range or the spread is how far apart the bottom number and the top number are, the lowest number and the highest number. So we would say here, before I calculate it, I would say, classes have between 14 and 34 students at this school. That's kind of what I want to say, right? They have between 14 and 34 students. And what I'm going to do to find the range is just kind of think about how far apart those are. The distance from 34 to 14, which is a range of 20, we would say. These have a 20 student spread, a spread of 20 from the smallest to the largest class. So that's all you have to do. There's almost no math involved, just a quick subtraction. So we would say this has a range or spread of 20, which kind of means there is a difference of 20 between the largest and smallest classes. All right, so lots of different ways to think about that. So there's a difference of 20, a range of 20, a spread of 20. So we could say classes have between 13 and 34 students. That's a good answer to the question. Say how many students are in a class here. Well, between 14 and 34. There's a range of 20, or you could say there's a difference of 20 students between the largest class and the smallest class. So that's often another good way to answer statistical questions. So I'll do another quick one myself. Here's one from yesterday. So how much money do you workers at this company earn each year? Yesterday we answered that 3 different ways. We found the average salary. We added all these up and divided by 12. And we found an average of $28,250. Then we lined them all up and found the median, which was $27,000. And then we found the most, which was also $27,000. So we said, they have an average of this. Over here, we said half the employees make $27,000 or less, half make $27,000 or more. And we also over here said, more people make $27,000 than any other salary. That's the mode. So today, let's answer that one more way with a range of or spread. So when I'm looking at range or spread, I'm looking for the smallest and largest data points or observations. So I think our lowest salary was $22,500. We had that twice actually. Oh, no, it wasn't. I see one smaller. Smallest is 22,000. And the greatest is 40,500. Right there. So 22,500 to 22,000 and 40,500. So 3 ways to talk about the range or spread. So first I can just calculate it. I can say the range or the spread of salaries is the largest minus the smallest, the distance between this and this. So that is 40,500 minus 22,000 is 18,500. So I would say, first thing I would say is there is a range or spread of, what did I just say? $18,500 between, or I can just say that actually, I'll leave it there. There's a range or spread of $18,500. So other ways to make this helpful as an answer to the question. You could say, there is a difference of $18,500 between the highest and lowest salaries. And I could also say that the salaries range from $22,000 up to $40,500. So all of those are good ways to describe the range or the spread. This is the actual technical math calculation of range or spread, is how far is it from the bottom to the top. There's a $18,000, $500 range. But to make this useful in talking to somebody, often you would kind of say it like this. There's a difference of $18,500 between highest and lowest, or the salaries range from the lowest up to the highest. All helpful. Okay, let's do one together. Either open to your new page or open back up to this one that we did yesterday. How many pets do students in Hiram's class own? Yesterday we answered that question 3 ways. We said the average student has about 3 pets, a little more than 3 pets per student. It's a ratio, did you hear me? Or a unit rate, did you hear me say that? 3 pets per student. The median is 2.5, so we said half the class has fewer than 2.5 pets, half has more than 2.5 pets. And the most common number of pets was 2, which is the mode. So we found all those yesterday. Today I want to find the range of pets in Hiram's class. So I need to know the smallest, which in this class is 0, and the largest observation, or largest data point, is 7. Somebody's got 7 pets. Whew, that's a lot of pets. All right, so the first thing I would do is say the range and the spread. That is the difference between largest and smallest, So if we want to be mathematical about it, say the range is 7 minus 0, largest minus smallest is 7. So there's a range or spread of 7. That's how you calculate the range or the spread. It's just a number that can be calculated. But I also want you to know how to interpret that, or how to explain that as the answer to a statistical question. So the question's like, how many pets do students in the class own? So one way you can answer that question is with the largest and the smallest value that you use to find the range. This isn't the range, but this is how you find the range. Say, students have between 0 and 7 pets. If you're going to use the range to answer the question, that's what the range of 7 means. And another way you could say it is there is a difference of 7 between the student with the most pets and the student with the least, or the fewest. That's another way you can answer that question. So that all has to do with the range. So the range is kind of talking about the largest and the smallest. Rather than all those things we used the other day that had to do with the middle, the mean, the median, the mode, all have to do with kind of the center of the data, the middle of the data. This is kind of talking about the ends of the data. So range and spread is a 4th way to answer statistical questions. If you need to go back and watch any of these 3 examples again, please do. Once you feel like you have a good handle on range, then we will work on it tomorrow. See you then.